So right now we have created a new project, new design in Tinkercad. So first of all, let us change this project name to circle. Okay, and then we can put a behind. I put it a gear as bracket. Okay, circle. Which means we are creating something related to the circle topic, okay, but we are using gear, okay. So you can name it as any name you want, okay. For me, I will just put this name. So first of all, let us create the gear so you can see over here in your basic shape for Tinkercad, you only have this shape, okay. But don't worry, we are going to use some other shape that Tinkercad provide. So click on the basic shape, okay. And then you will have a all option, okay, under the category of shape generators. So let us click on all, okay, and we go for the number 3 selection, okay. So if we go into number 3, you will have different type of gears that you can use. So we are going to use the pro gear, okay, not just normal gear but the pro one, okay. This means that we can do more settings for this gear, okay. So let me click on the gear and bring it out to our workplace. So let's zoom it in, okay. So at the right hand side over here, you can see, okay, over here you have a lot of properties that you can set, okay. So first of all, we are going to set the teeth properties, okay. So this teeth, okay, instead of 8, we are going to set it to hundreds, not 100, sorry, 16, okay, just 16, double of it. So 16 teeth, okay, which means one gear you will have 16 teeth. This is called the teeth of it, okay. After that, this gear will be our big one. So this gear, once it rotates one circle, it will represent for 360 degrees, okay, for one rotation. So what are we going to do next is we are going to set the teeth, okay, the setting for one teeth, okay. So if I zoom in, you can see I have this teeth over here. Let us take this as our example. So over here, first of all, is the tooth base width. So you can change the tooth base width larger if you want to, but for us, we are going to remain it as 3. So if you change it bigger, you will see, if let's say I change it to 5, you will see it become thicker. Whoopsie, it become thicker over here. So, sorry, undo. What I want to do just now is undo it. So let us change back the tooth base width to 3, okay, make sure that it's 3. And then the next thing is the tooth core width. So this tooth core width is basically this width over here, okay, this width, that over here, this pointy part, okay, this point part until this point, okay. So this tooth core width, we are going to change it to 3 also, and you will have this shape, okay. After we change the tooth core width to 3, you will see it's like a line over there, okay. Now what we are going to do is, next thing is the tooth tip width, which is this part. So this part, tooth tip width, okay, we are going to set it to 2, okay, slightly thicker, like this, okay. But if you set it to 5 and see, you will have a very pointy part at the front, okay. Instead of just the settings that I showed you just now, okay, you can play along with the height also, like the tooth base height, okay. You can increase it, like let's say I change this to 5, you can see what is the difference. Oh, it actually increased the size of this one, okay, the size, the height, the length of it, okay. So we are going to remain this. Maybe we can change this one. Just now originally, what's the value? Undo 2. Let us change the tooth base height to 2.5, okay, slightly longer is enough. Okay, cool. So now we have the big gear, the big one. Okay, now I want to create the smaller one. So what I can do is, the smaller one will have the same two settings as the big one, so that it will be fit. So what I can do is, I'm going to duplicate this big one, Control D to duplicate, bring it to the side, okay? And then what we need to do is, we want to change the teeth number. So this gear, okay, the teeth number will be 8. So which means it will represent for our pi. Okay, so which means when it turn one round, one circle, it means it already turned for 1 pi. So what are we going to do now? Next is, we want to make some labeling. Okay, some zero, the labeling point for both of them. So what are we going to do is, first, let me place this around at this corner. Okay, and I'm going to change this, rotate this gear, the smaller one, slightly to the right. Okay, maybe I zoom in here. Okay, slightly to the left, actually, what I mean. Okay, so that I will have a straight line for the gear. Okay, so let me click on this rotation and rotate it to the left, to upwards. So you can slightly adjust it by yourself, okay, until you see a straight line for the gear, for the teeth lah. Okay, so around 11 degrees enough. Okay, so we will have a straight line for, yeah, this is nice. Okay, so you need to rotate it for 11 degrees. Okay, so let me undo it for you, and I rotate it again. Let me zoom in. Okay, okay, go outwards and rotate it for 11 degree. Okay, 11. Okay, notice that. So 3, 2, 1, and that's all. So just now the 3, 2, 1 is mean I'm holding the timer for you, so that you can know what is the value. Okay, so right now let's rotate for the big one. Okay, so that we have the gear, one of the teeth is putting at the space there. Okay, so before we rotate the big one, let's align it together. Highlight it, click on align. We just want to align for the horizontal, the vertical part. Okay, so click on the dot for the vertical, and you will get this. So right now, what are we going to do is, we are going to rotate this gear. Let's move in a little bit. Okay, 1 pixel, not 1 pixel, 1 millimeter. And then I'm going to rotate this one. Okay, it's hardly for you guys to see for the value, so I'm going to change this color to something light, maybe this color. Now it's better. Okay, so how many degree will we rotate? Let's see. So I'm going to rotate it around 5 degree. Okay, -5 is just nice. Okay, so we have a fitting point for them. So let me move this a bit downwards. Okay, so you can see this two is fit. Let us go for perspective view, and you can see we have a little space in it. It's just nice. Okay, so let me show you again. So how many degree are we going to rotate? 5. Okay, so I'm rotating it by -5 degree. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, -5 degree, and then I'm moving this gear inside. Oops, I'm going to move it by hand, sorry. So I'm going to move it like 0.14 millimeter. Okay, so I hold it over there, and you guys can see how much I move. So 0.14 at the bottom. So undo, you can see the value over here. Okay, notice it. So I move down 0.14. Okay, so now we have a good fit right now. Now let's do the labeling. So the labeling is pretty simple. Okay, I'm going to use a box. Okay, but it's in whole. So click on the box, drag it into your screen. Okay, now this box, I'm going to make the vertical line. Okay, oopsie. Okay, the length of it I'm going to make it to 2.5. Sorry, 2.5. Okay, and then I align this one and this small gear together. Align it. Okay, in the vertical axis and the X for the first one. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to shorten this line. Oh, it's a bit too big. Oh, I know why. Okay, so first, okay, this gear, both of this gear is quite small actually. The size is quite small. So if we do the labeling for it, it will be hardly for the printer to print, okay? Because we are going to use a normal FDM printer. But if we want it in details, okay, you can use the SLA printer, which is the resin printer. So since we are going to print this with FDM, I'm going to just increase the size of this both of this gear, okay? So first, let me highlight both and then increase the size of it to, if you look at the X, the horizontal value, okay, I'm going to increase it to 110, okay? So let's increase this to 110, 15. Okay, cool. Now I have a big gear. So the total size of these two gear will be 115 millimeter, okay? So it's around 15 cm actually. It is a bit too much. Sorry, my mistake. I keep on remembering 150. 115, 115 millimeter. So it's around 11 cm, okay? And the Y value, okay, for the length value will be 75.91, okay? Just round it up to 75.90, okay? And the height, we are going to set it to 5, okay? Now, let us put this box back to here, okay? So click on the box, okay? You can click on your box, hold shift, click on your smaller gear and align both of them. So we don't want to move the gear actually. So click on the gear first and move your box. So vertical, go center. Horizontal wise, go to the first one. Okay, so we have a box here. Okay, maybe let me increase the length of this one to, let's say, 11 millimeter. Okay, and the height of this one, we're going to put it as half of the total height for the gear. So total height is 5. This one will go for 2.5, and it gone missing. So it's not missing, but it's at the bottom. So what are we going to do is, since the box is clicked, hold shift, click on your gear, press align, click on the gear again, and press the top one for the Z. Okay. Now we have one over here. Let's put one more for this gear over here. So let's duplicate this one, move it to the right, the left. Okay, and then you need to make sure that it will cut off this space also. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it in a bit more and increase the length for this one. So yeah, cool. Now group them together. So click on your box, click on your small gear, group, and click on another box, click on your big gear and group. So right now, once you group them, you will have this shape. Okay, so you will have an indication for 0 degree or 360 degree and a pipe. And that's basically all about the gear.